Hello everyone and welcome to the very first edition of Kick It to Scoops, second edition of Kick It to Scoops.
Hello everyone and welcome to a very special edition of Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host Cooper Gretch.
Cooper Gretch here. I'm your host Cooper Gretch. It's a very loaded show for you guys today.
Second game.
Not good enough. My team of the week.
Tell me a bit about yourself. Just fill me in quickly.
Good, yeah.
No worries, thanks for having us, Cooper. Appreciate it.
Best time with 4 goals and over 28 disposals.
Hello everyone and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host Cooper Gretch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. I've got a very loaded show for you guys today. We've got the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. I'm going to bang on about that ridiculous all-Australian team. Just a pre-warning, I'm going to get very, very angry and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to preview the finals just coming this round. Obviously, we just had the bye, so there'll be no reviewing. Obviously, there's no games, AFL games on the weekend. We're going to go through that. No more Team of the Week, no more Scoops medal. Obviously, Toot Miller was the winner of the Scoops medal, the second ever edition. First was Jackson McRae, then this year's winner was Toot Miller. We're going to go through the All-Australian team. And yeah, so on Scoops Goes Bang is going to be the All-Australian team. I'm going to bang on about that. Preview week 1 of the finals. Going to have some trade talk. Trade talk is back and a whole list of names. I'll detail some and some I'll just give a short, sharp answer to. We've got about 30 names here. May not go through them all. We'll wait and see. And first off, we'll start off with this. You want me on Cameo. Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend. You want me to wish someone a happy birthday, engagement, wedding, whatever. You want me to roast someone and say they suck at Supercoach or anything like that at all. Just send it through to cameo.com/Cooper G. And merch is t-shirts, stickers, stubby holders, the whole shebang. There's not many stickers left. Not many. Yes, hats. There's a few hats left and a few stickers left. So go and get them immediately and go and get the t-shirts and stubby holders today. A lot of t-shirt designs. I hope to have some more guests on in the as soon as possible. But bit hard to get some guests at the moment. It's been hard last few months, unfortunately. But I'll keep trying. If there's any AFL players you want on the show, and you know them, tell them to come on or let me know, and we'll try and organise something. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit hard at the moment. Now let's start off with the world famous segment, and it is world famous because all you have to do is check the analytics, and all I can, and I know it. And here is the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Oh, the All-Australian panel. What a ridiculous team they've picked. And where do I begin? Where do I begin? Do I begin with the ruckman? How Jared Witts didn't get in as the ruck? Is it that Rory Laird did not even get in the freaking team at all? Is it Braden Maynard getting picked over Cal Wilkie? Or James Sicily not getting over Sard? Where do I begin? Is it Tom Hawkins getting in the team, let alone the captaincy? Oh, God, Kane, what an excuse you guys made. Is it that Charlie Cameron didn't get in the team? There's so many mistakes. How Nick Dacos didn't even get in the squad. Sam Doherty didn't get in the squad. And they said they put a few more extra positions. They made it a 44-man squad instead of 40 because they didn't want to have too many people be unlucky. Well, there's always going to be people, no matter how many number of people you put in the squad, we're still going to be unlucky. A la Nick Dacos and Sam Doherty. And even Max King in the squad. Now, where do I begin, I said? The team they made. The back six was Stewart, May, Maynard, Sinclair, Sam Taylor, and Sard. Sinclair and Sam Taylor, no issues whatsoever. People can say Tom Barrass. Fair enough for that argument. I didn't have him in mind. I had Sicily and Sicily and Sam Taylor as my two key defenders, and Cal Wilkie is the third tall. How did Sicily not get in? Wilkie as well, but mainly Sicily. How did Sicily not get in? Now, why did Tom Stewart and Stephen May get in? Tom Stewart missed 5 games. Same as May. Did they have good years? Sure. They missed 5 or 6 games. Now, the argument people say is, still had a great year. Cal Wilkie played every game. Played well as well. So why didn't he get in? He can play as a tall. He's played that for St Kilda. He's played on Jeremy Cameron. He's played on players like that. Why did he not get it? Why not? I don't like it. The backline is a joke. Maynard, how he got in, I have no idea. He's had an okay year, but nowhere near an All-Australian year. Let alone the squad even. And he got in the team. It's because they wanted to fit a Collingwood player in. Could have had Nick Dacos there, and they wouldn't really had any arguments for me. Stephen May, you could have had Barras instead. For Stewart, you could have had Wilkie instead. And you could have had Sicily in for Maynard. And for Sard, you could have had Nick Dacos. Simple fix there. Simple fix. That's what I would have fixed there. Now in the midfield, people complain about wingers. Now, I did have Touk Miller, half forward of Will Brodie. How Will Brodie didn't get in the squad is another crime in itself. So they had Touk Miller and Callum Mills on the wing. Mills may not have played much wing, but he can play there. Touk Miller plays midfield. So if you're going to argue at me about it, well, then you've got to argue at the Australian team for not picking a winger again. People said Ed Langdon, who didn't get in the squad either. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Josh Dacos was in the squad. I don't know how. He had a solid year too, but again, not an All-Australian worthy year. Maybe that's why they picked mids in the wing position. Josh Kelly, how he did not get in. I don't care what team he played for GWS. He should have been in on the wing. I had him in mind. He is a wingman, so he should have been in there. Plain and simple. Mills, I didn't have in my team at all. Yeah. Clayton Oliver was a centreman, fair enough. You had, where are we? The other Rovers was Cripps and Neal. I would probably honestly would have had Cripps on the bench, if not in at all. Stiff, I know. Lucky Neal, yeah, that's fair. But here's where I get angry. How did Jared Witts not get in the ruck, let alone in the squad, in the 22, and then not ahead of Gawn? Kidding me. But people are going to tell me, Gawn is Gawn. Had a good year. No, for starters, he wasn't even that good. He had some very mediocre games. Did he have some great games? Absolutely, he did. Was he mediocre at times? Yes, he was. He was average for his standards this season. And still got the All-Australian ruckman. Jared Witts had 308 more hitouts than Max Gawn. Just sink that in. Jared Witts had 308 more hitouts than Max Gawn. 308. We're not talking 38. We're talking 308. How the hell did Jared Witts not get in? Oh, that's right. He doesn't play for a Victorian club anymore. He plays for the Gold Coast. You got the people on the panel. Kane Corns, Port Adelaide. Cameron Ling, Geelong. Jared Healy. Like, seriously. Pick it properly. Brad Johnson. Like, Victorian people or Victorian lovers. Kane got Connor Rosie in, which was good for him. Probably deserved the spot. He was on my bench too. How the hell did Joe... 308 more hitouts than Max Gawn. Riley O'Brien had the second most hitouts and he was dropped for 2 games this season. Just think about that. And then Sean Tarsi was third in the hitouts. Then Nank Kurbis was 4th or 5th. And then there was another ruckman in 4th or 5th, whatever position Nank Kurbis wasn't in. Then in 6th place was Gawn. 308 hitouts behind the leader in Witts, who was by far the most dominant ruckman in the competition. Now, speaking to some players in the competition, myself, I'm not going to reveal who they are because I don't want to get them in trouble. They could not. I asked multiple players this, and they were absolutely gobsmacked and disgusted how Witsy did not get in. And I agree. How the hell did Jared Witts not get in? Oh, that's right. Volcano and co. Love Max Gorn. No love for Jared Witts? What an absolute joke. Pathetic. 308 more hitouts than Gorn. And don't give me the bullshit that Gorn kicked goals and shit and blah, 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 average a few more possessions. When the gap was so big, when a ruckman's main job is to have hitouts, not disposals, but hitouts, had Gorn had similar hitouts and these disposals, then we got a different argument. But you don't, because Jared Witts had 308 more hitouts, and that's the ruckman's job. Freaking bullshit. Bullshit. I'm going to say for what the players can't say. It is absolutely bullshit. It's bullshit. And don't come at me with Gorn's won 5 All-Australians before. Who gives a shit? He could have won 10. He could have won none. Does not matter. Jared Witts at 308 more hitouts. End of freaking discussion. And while I'm at it, how the bloody hell did Rory Laird not get in the midfield? We're going to get to the forwards in a second. How did Rory Laird not get in the team? In fact, even if he was on the bench, I would have been disappointed how he didn't get on the field. He averaged 33 disposals this year, Rory Laird. 33! Great year. Great ball use. People say, his meters games was high. But he had a lot of clearances, a lot of tackles. He was in the top 2 for the tackles. I think he might have won it over Sam Berry and Brad Crouch. How the hell did he not? He had a lot of score involvements, a lot of clearances, he kicked some goals for a mid. How did Rory Laird not get in over Patrick Cripps? Over anyone on that bench, including Rosie? I know Andy Brayshaw should have been on the field too. Ahead of Blixarves. Blixarves again, good year. No, I'm not doubting that. But how Rory Laird did not get in the team is an absolute crime. I'm having to relook at it. And Isaac Heaney too. And Shai Bolton even. Again, had good seasons. But over Rory Laird, give me a break. No, he did not. Rory Laird and Jared Witts have been absolutely, excuse my language, fucked over. They have been fucked over. I don't bag for the Suns. I don't bag for the Crows. But I know a lot of players of those clubs will be very pissed off that they did not get picked. And players from other clubs too. Some that I spoke to not involved in those clubs would be pissed off. Or were pissed off. Or shocked and couldn't believe it. It was an absolute disgrace. Now the forwards. No major arguments with 3 spots, with Jeremy Cameron, Curnow, who won the Coleman, and Tyson Stengel. Not debating that. Alright, we'll leave it at that. For that part. So Shai Bolton, Petrarca, and Tom Hawkins. Shai Bolton, good year. Not even doubting that. Not even doubting that. But did he have a better year than Charlie Cameron? I don't know. I don't think so. Did he have better stats, like in possessions, but it's not always about the possessions. Petrarca. Solid year, sure. Not doubting that again. But to the players that are missed, Laird, Nick Dacos, Jared Witts. AFL just biased. Petrarca had a good year. Look, he's not the worst call, trust me, he's not the worst. The Max Gorn call and Brandon Maynard calls were the 2 worst. And Sard, the 3 worst calls. And Blixarves, 4 worst calls. It is really embarrassing. And Tom Hawkins, you can add to that list of, couldn't believe he got in. Great year, good goals, it's great. I'm not doubting he had a great year, Tom Hawkins. But when can you have 3 key forwards in the side, and one of them, who on average, Tom Lynch, did not get in? Really? Tex Walker, had he also... this is the perfect example. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, good old Texan. Tom Stewart missed 5 games, okay? Just think about this, okay? Tom Stewart had 5 games out. Tex had 4 games out. Tex, on average, was going to come second in the Coleman had he not been suspended, on average. Just on average. I think he could have won the Coleman if he had not missed those 4 games. He was 14, 15 goals behind Charlie Curnow. He was the same 4 games that Tex couldn't kick 15 goals. That's more than capable for the Tex. So I think he would have come second. He could have come first. So if you go on average, that's what Tom Stewart basically got in for. Was he missed 5 games, Tex missed 4. So then why isn't Tex in the team? He got in the squad and deserved it. Now, I'm not debating that Tex should have been in the team. I'm not saying he should have over the ones in it. But if Tom Stewart can get in over that reason, why can't Tex? Oh, that's right. He's not a Victorian player again. How did Hawkins get in front of Tom Lynch? I will not know. My team had just Curnow and Cameron. If you can have the third tall, then why the hell is it not Tom Lynch over Tom Hawkins? Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Overall, it's a mediocre team run by a bunch of mediocre biased people who just pick who they like. No solid reasons. And then and the reasons for giving Hawkins the captaincy, Kane Corns, seriously, mate. Says it was anonymous vote. The majority said Hawkins. So I think there was 12 on the panel. So say, let's say 9, 10 said Hawkins. Why? And Kane's excuse, pretty much on behalf of the group, was it was an obvious choice. This is quoting Kane, an obvious choice. And because he's been a 5-time All-Australian before. Oh, I'm sorry. When does it matter if you were 5, 6, 7, 10 time, 3 time, 1 time, no time All-Australian before? Why aren't you the captaincy? It should be, if it's not a captain in the team, it should be who had the best season. And he shouldn't have been in the team. And he's not a captain of his club. Or been a former captain. You had Took Miller in the team. You had Cripps in the team who were questioned about being in there. Oh, I did. Not traumatically. You know, you had them. You had a future leader in Andy Brayshaw. Tom Hawkins isn't going to be captain. And you had Gordon in there, even though. So, you know, you got to add a captain of one of the captains or the future captains in Andy Brayshaw. But no, you went to someone who's not been a captain before, and the excuse was that he's a 5-time All-Australian? Seriously. Get rid of the whole lot. Nathan Buckley was on it. Rory was on as well. The whole lot. Get them off. Get them off. Oh, Kevin Bartlett was on too. That just... Gee, he must have begged for Tom Lynch because he didn't get in. I'm sure KB be pissed at that. Get rid of the whole panel. Seriously. Pick pure wingmans, Josh Kelly. Pick a real captain, not Hawkins. Took Miller, for example, you could have put. And don't favour Victorian teams. Where is Jared Witts? Where is Rory Laird? Absolute disgrace to that entire selection panel, All-Australian selection panel, including Kane Corns. Lift your game! Atrocious. That is one of the worst teams picked of the modern era. Pathetic. Hope you guys enjoy that very, very long edition of the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang. Now, we're going to preview week 1 of the finals. There's 4 games, obviously, in the finals. Less games to talk about. On Thursday night at 7:20 at the Gabba. 7:20 Victorian time. We've got the Lions hosting in Richmond. Marcus Adams won't return. Potential for the rest of the season, unfortunately, says Chris Fagan on SEN this morning. So Jack Payne should bring the pain. Stay in the team. Dustin Martin should return for Richmond. Callard Sheep playing the reserves. Mitch Robinson will come in for the suspended duo of Rayner and Ainsworth. Noah Ainsworth. Well, he's coming for Rayner. Or Mitch Robinson. And I see one of Leicester, young Darcy Wilmot, coming in for Noah Ainsworth. Yeah, so I'm going to go... I know Brisbane's been a bit scrappy, but I'm going for the Lions. On Friday night at the MCG 7:50 Victorian time at the G, Melbourne, the Swans. I'm going for the Swans. They had Melbourne's number early in the season at the MCG, so they got some good form against Melbourne there. I'm going for the Swans in a close game. In Melbourne, Tom McDonald played in the VFL, but I don't expect him to come back in this week. Saturday games, Twilight. By the way, I think I forgot to say this last week too. Brisbane and Richmond is an elimination final. Melbourne and Sydney is a qualifying final. Saturday games, the other qualifying final, Geelong hosting the Pies at the MCG, 4:35 Twilight game at the MCG Victorian time, Saturday, September 3rd. It was apparently Geelong's request to play at this time slot, so for people complaining about the time slot for Geelong fans, that's why it's in this time slot. I'm tipping Collingwood because they just had a great season. So have Geelong, but I think the Pies will get it done when it counts, and Craig McRae is definitely Coach of the Year. And the final game, the elimination final, Saturday night at 8:10 p.m. Victorian time, 6:10 Perth time. We've got the Dockers hosting the Bulldogs, who just scraped in by 0.6%. I'm going to go for the Dockers to give the Bulldogs the old heave-ho and end their season. Now, we're going to move on to trade talk. It is back, trade talk. I've got a lot of names to talk about. I've got a list of names here. I'm going to mention some in detail, some not in detail. I just want to start with Brodie Grundy. The people, they keep saying, he's going to Geelong. He's going to Melbourne. I don't see that happening. I don't. When we start seeing a few dominoes, it makes it a bit more clearer. He's got a long-term deal. This could be like a Treloar payment type thing. I don't think he'll go. Collingwood can't afford him to go. People say, no, Darcy Cameron now got a 3-year deal. Is their new ruck. Not when I'd still play Grundy. Darcy Cameron's been a bit inconsistent lately after his extension, so I wouldn't be guaranteeing that. If I'm Collingwood and Craig McRae, and Craig's a smart coach, obviously, I think he'd be smarter to keep Brodie Grundy. I don't see him going at this stage. Some of this is a bit early to tell. Carl Amon officially requested the Hawks. As a free agent, great get for the Hawks. It'll be about a 4 or 5 year deal on decent money. They pinched a good one there, and Carl Amon off the wing, played for the Hawks. Isaac Rankin, the Sun, has nominated the Crows as his club of choice back home on big money. That'll get done, probably for Crows' first round pick. And obviously a bit of moving around as well. Another top draft pick who hasn't officially requested to trade out yet. He did while David Noble was coach. That's Jason Horne-Francis, the number 1 draft pick. The Crows are linked there in Port Adelaide. His SA clubs, his home state. At this stage, Clarko's going to meet with him and has met with him. So he may persuade him to stay. So that one's now, with Clarko there, it may look like he may stay. Not locked in that he's going to leave now, and he's not locked in he's going to stay. Still up in the air, but the signs I've been hearing are pointing to him staying now, which is good for the Roos. But in a year's time, I don't think that'll be the case if it's not this year. Jordan De Goey. JDG. It was down to St Kilda, Geelong and Collingwood. Collingwood held off talks, and now Geelong are out of that equation just magically in the last 3 weeks. Down the Saints and the same at the Pies. They've been upfront, Collingwood, with what they want with Geordie and what they want him not to do and what they want him to do on field. And that's basically what's the hold up here. And they said they're holding it off to the end of the year. The longer this drags out, the more chance my Saints have. The Saints are pushing hard. The board's cleared their choice to go for JDG. Geordie De Goey will be a match winner for us to play up forward and play explosive play through the midfield. That type of play that we need. You got Steele and Crouch and Zach Jones if he remains. And players like that in there. Marcus Winhager and Mitch Owens. You need more of an explosive type. And Mitch Owens can be that for the future. So could Winhager right now. But Geordie De Goey will be a perfect choice to play up forward with Membry too and Maxi King and Dan Butler and Jack Higgins. It'd be a much more dangerous fall line with Jordan De Goey in there. He would drag a better defender, might free up Timmy Membry as well, Max King as well, and Jack Hayes if he comes back from an ACL injury next year, for next season. Could be a great addition, or will be a great addition to St Kilda with Jordan De Goey if it happens, but genuinely 50-50, and you know I want him to join the Saints. The next name on my long list of names is, where are we? Tim Taranto from the Giants. I see him as going. He's almost as good as gone. Richmond and Collingwood are the 2 clubs. Tom Brown says that Richmond are now the favourites of Collingwood cooling off. I don't believe that for 1 second, that Collingwood are cooling off. And he said that Bobby Hill's their priority. I think that he's still up in the air for both. I think Tim Taranto may make up his mind once the club he wants to go to is eliminated. So if Richmond get eliminated this week, this is what I'm leaning towards. If Richmond lose on Thursday night and we don't hear a decision by Tim Taranto by the following Tuesday, Wednesday, If he gets any later than a week after Richmond are eliminated, I think he's choosing the Pies. Just be aware of that. Trends like that happen. Things like that happen. So that would not shock me if he goes to the Pies. That'd be an example of the type of player they need, especially if they lose Jordan De Goey. They're going to bring in Dan McStay and more than likely Bobby Hill. So it's a player they need in that midfield because Taylor Adams is always injured. They need that explosive type play, especially if De Goey goes, and he'd be a perfect addition. But Richmond and Collingwood are in the mix for Tim Taranto at this current stage. So the next name on my list is, where are we? Dyson Heppel, the skipper of the Bombers. Treated harshly by people at Essendon and their fans. Had solid. He averaged 22 disposals, mainly playing as a half-back. I think he's going. See his wording on he's going to make a decision in the next few weeks. It's just the way he said it and how he worded his sentence. It's basically saying he's got a decision to make, which shows clearly he's considering the Gold Coast offer. And I think it's more leaning to him taking the Gold Coast offer. I'm not saying I haven't got factual information yet on that but I'm thinking he's leaning more towards going to the Suns. And if he does end up staying at Essendon, he would have definitely considered the Gold Coast, and hence why he's taken a few more weeks, he says, or around that time. So that'll be an interesting one to look out for there. Where are we? Jacob Hopper, he's more than likely going to leave the Giants. Got a year to go. Linked to Geelong. Got a year left on the contract with the Giants. Roughly about 600k. I would love to know Geelong's unlimited salary cap or extra money they got in their salary cap. People can go, they don't overpay. Fair enough, but I want to give you some names. Tom Stewart, Hawkins, Cameron Dangerfield, Selwood, Rowan, Blixarves, Parfitt, plays like that. There's probably more I forgot that are on good money. People can say, Higgins and Dalhouse are going. Dalhouse is worth nothing, and Higgins is probably on stuff or probably on 300k. So I don't know. I love to know their salary cap and how much each individual player at the top end at least are on, because it's interesting one. But apparently he may be going to Geelong. We'll have to wait and see. There's not much else than just saying he may go to Geelong. Brad Hill from the Saints. Clarko now in charge of the Roos. Linked to North Melbourne. Got a couple of years to go on his contract on big money around 900k. Good, let him go. He's had his chances. They brought him in, essentially for Akers and a top draft pick, or the main picks were. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, Brad Hill's a great game changer, line breaker off the wing. Or half back, mainly wing. So you could have floated him between wing, half forward, half back. And just defended him, and it's his fault most of the time. Had some good games, sure, but I think it's time to part ways with Brad Hill. Doesn't seem as interested too anymore. If St Kilda's going to be paying some of that contract, they need a better draft pick. So it should be a second rounder. That's what it should be. You can go to North, that's fine with me. Where else are we? And that does look like it may happen too. St Kilda need to back up Ruckman too, Paddy Ryder going, retiring, and Tom Campbell should stay for another year, but they need another backup, or someone that could play with Marshall. Could that be Lloyd Meek from the Dockers? So that's just an interesting one to keep an eye out on. Or could it be Todd Goldstein? Could it be Rory Lobb? I would watch your space on St Kilda and Todd Goldstein. That's all I'll say for now. Where are we on the list? Luke Jackson, he's going to Fremantle. You just can't say it yet. Rory Lobb, more than likely going to the Bulldogs, but again, he can't really say anything now. Josh Dunkley is an interesting one. Been linked to Port Adelaide, linked to Essendon, linked to staying at the club. I think he's going. I really do. But it's a really toss-up where he's going to at the moment. Josh Dunkley will be a good asset for any side, particularly Port Adelaide. That's top play Port need, with Robert Gray retiring. Be perfect addition to play forward mid. But he's the top of mid. They kind of got the same mode, don't they? Don't you reckon, with Wines and Powell Pepper? Powell Pepper's played more forward, so it'd be an interesting one. But it's still taking if you can for Port Adelaide's sake. Yeah, Ty Goldstein says, watch your space on St Kilda. Wouldn't surprise me if Geelong try to get in, but they've got an old ruck now in Segler, so I doubt it. McStay, he is not staying. He's going to the Pies, Bobby Hill. They're going to leave GWS, who will go to the Pies more than likely. Essendon were sniffing last year. Cam Zurha is one to watch his space. Essendon's been linked. I don't think he'll stay at North. I think he thinks he's worth more than he is. And he'll test the market out elsewhere. I think he'll just go to the highest bid, if I'm being brutally honest. Lloyd Meek, backup ruck to Sean Darcy. Luke Jackson will come in. He'll probably be a third option. I think Lloyd Meek will want to look at another club. And I'm just going to categorically rule it out for the people. People piss me off when they bring this up. Media online. Sean Darcy is not getting bumped out of the team for Luke Jackson at Fremantle. People are like, oh, Jackson's in. He's going to take the ruck spot. No, he's not. Luke Jackson is going to partner up with Sean Darcy. I'm pissed off to see the idiots online saying Sean Darcy's got to go or he's going to want to go because Jackson's coming in. Sean Darcy will still be the number one freaking ruckman at Fremantle. They're going to lose Lob. They aren't that bloody stupid. Luke Jackson replaces Lob. Freaking simple. Sean Darcy is not affected in this. If some stupid reason Fremantle did that, then they'd be dumb for doing that. Sean Darcy is not leaving the Fremantle Football Club. Not happening. So, cut the bullshit. Not hearing that rumour again. Cut it out. Ben Long. It's been a long time coming. But he finally may be gone. His last game was great. A bit easy when shooting the ball sideways. Yes, he had 5 contested marks. Great. 17 marks. He had about 13 of them, 12 of them chipping sideways. So, anyway, got a goal, off a 50-metre penalty. So what? Get rid of him. Good on him. If he has another gig, good on him. But Essendon were interested in the past. He can go there. I don't care. Zach Jones been linked as well. I mean, they bring DeGoey in. Could see players like Jones pop out. I don't think they're just going to drop them all. But they're in the conversation being taken out of the team. Ollie Henry's an interesting one at the Pies to watch out for. I think he may leave. Especially if DeGoey stays. And especially if they bring in Tim Taranto. Well, they're already bringing him staying. More than likely Bobby Hill. So maybe no room for Ollie Henry in the team. And he was in the VFL again on the weekend. Matt Crouch wants out of Adelaide. The Adelaide Crows. But wants to kind of stay in Adelaide. But he doesn't want to play Sandford. So Matty Crouch is in a really, really interesting spot and bother. I thought of some clubs in Victoria where he's normally from, and his brother Brad is at the Saints. St Kilda, I don't see the fit there. I don't see the fit at North Melbourne because they've got a lot of inside mids. The one club I could think of that could realistically play for Matt Crouch is Essendon. They've always wanted inside mids. Crouchy is that. He's a bit like Tom Mitchell, so... And it could be one... I know people say they got Merritt and Shield and players like that, but Matt Crouch is the inside mid that they may be looking after. So watch your space with Matt Crouch and the Bombers. And Michelin, the new coach too. Paddy Dow at Carlton, more likely will explore his options. Blake Acres is an interesting one, rumoured with Carlton and players like that. I think Blake Acres will end up staying unless that low ball offer does not improve. Luke Bruce, I think he'll stay at the Hawks, but it's a watch his space, no guarantee. Jack Gunston, been linked with Brisbane. We'll have to wait and see on that one. That's a player St Kilda should be looking at if they can't get to Goey. Jack Gunston, throw him 2-3 years and take him, Saints. It'd be a good option, Jack Gunston. And speaking of St Kilda, should throw an offer at Griffin Logue. A lot of Victorian clubs are playing interested. He's from Perth. Hey, Geeks telling me that that when I said St Kilda should, an opinion piece where I said St Kilda should throw a 4-year deal at Griffin Logue about a month ago at $700K a year. People are like, oh, why would he go to another club in the state he doesn't live in, originally from in Perth, and be on the same money as he had for Fremantle? What? Oh, I've seen a report during the week saying that he was only being offered a 450 to 500K, 550 max at Freo. Gee, what do I know? Cooper knows more than the unintelligent geek online. Gee, colour me surprised. Griffin Logue, St Kilda would be a great pickup. The Bulldogs would be a great pickup for Griffin Logue. They need key defenders badly, the Bulldogs, so does St Kilda. So St Kilda should be throwing the checkbook at Griffin Logue. 5 years, I'm actually up in that offer. 5 years at 600 or 5 at 700. Do it, Saints. Come on. Or Brennan Cox. Linked to the Crows. do they really need a key defender? They got Jordan Butts and Nick Murray, Tommy Duday. Brendan Cox will be a better addition, an upgrade on Butts and Murray. But Cox and Duday and Jordan Butts might be a pretty decent back half for the Crows. And he had some flankers as well. So, Lockie Scholl, I haven't got on this list actually. He may be on the way out. Been rumored at Carlton. I don't know how true that is. Been trying to find out on that one. He played for the Sandford on the weekend, Lockie Scholl, in the Crows first final. Done okay. So he'll be one to watch space on Lockie Scholl, who played halfback. Nathan Wilson from the Dockers. I think he'll... Gold Coast were linked, but I don't know why Gold Coast were wanting. They've got Will Powell, a young gun, who watches the show. Welcome to you, Pally. You got players like Will Powell. You got players like Lukosius can play. They play like Markov there too. I don't see Nathan Wilson as a fit. I really don't. Junior Rioli, formerly known as Willie Rioli, wants to be called Junior Rioli from now on. Been linked to Port Adelaide, and the Roos, the Eagle. Adam Simpson has admitted that they hope he stays, but they're not sure. They're trying to work things out. I think he may leave and may go to North Melbourne purely because he wants to go to Victoria, so that would rule out obviously the Power. I think he may go to the Victorian club, and Roos are the only one linked so far. Sam Sturt from the Dockers. Started his career off well last year, and then been unsighted, been injured, not getting many possessions in the waffle. Kicked a few goals a game sometimes earlier on in this season. Fallen out of favour with the Dockers. Sam Sturt. Justin Longmuir said during the year that what he had to do to get back in, and he didn't really consider him, honestly. So he could be one looking for another club, a club like a North Melbourne or Essendon, even up forward. It could be an interesting get there. Braden Ferrarini got another year left. The Suns, though. If I don't see him getting in, though, a regular spot with Rowell and Anderson, Miller, Brandon Ellis is still there, so it's an interesting one. They'll have to. So he might explore his options, Braden Ferrarini, but could stay in be a good depth option for the Suns. Tanner Bruin, something's brewing up here. He's going from the Giants. You've seen him when he was drafted at GWS, he was upset or disappointed, and that is still going to be the case because he's going to leave. Geelong have been linked up. Geelong don't get players under 30, so who knows. Liam Shields more likely to join Clarko at the Roos. Played last night in the VFL final for the Hawks. May have been the last game for Shields in the Hawks colours. 4 names I want to go through now. Will Gould from Sydney. I think he'll seek opportunity elsewhere if he's not delisted. Toby Bedford from Melbourne's been offered a 2-year deal apparently. GWS is sniffing there. Wait and see. The super sub for the Demons is Toby Bedford. Liam Jones, we know about his stance on being an anti-vax, so I'm not going to bring that up because people will get upset. People get upset with what I say sometimes. Liam Jones will join the Bulldogs again, funnily enough. Carlton will get compensated for it. And, well, that's interesting too in itself. And one final player I want to talk about now is Dustin Martin. Will he or will he go? It's died down that talk the last 3 weeks. Will he stay at Richmond? Will he see out his country? Will he retire? Will he join the Swans? Will he join the Giants? It's really liable, this one. I would not... I think it's been quiet because Martin's not been playing. Interesting one. I think he may stay at this stage, but I'm not certain on that just yet. So don't quote me and say in a month's time if he leaves. You said he was staying. It's more an opinion. There's no facts on this so far. I'm trying to work this one out. I think he may stay at this stage. The talk has died down. But funny things happen. If he wins the premiership with Richmond, God forbid, then he might retire. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I think at the moment, Dustin Martin will stay. Stephen Martin too, being the Martins, will very likely retire. That is the long edition of Scoops' Trade Talk. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. Any other names you want in the comment section, please put them down below. Like and subscribe to this video. When I have at least 20 likes in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for all notifications. You want to see me talk. You want to see me my face. Cameo.com. My final thoughts are simply this too. Cameo.com/CooperG. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, laugh at someone, consolidate, console someone, whatever. Just send it through to Cameo.com/CooperG. T-shirts, merch. There's T-shirts, stickers, stubby holders, hats. The whole shebang is on the site, so go and get yours today. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, also, some other final thoughts I want to make. Two, Will Setterfield, the people in the VFL saying he didn't qualify. Carlton are going to stuff up again, but it'd be typical Carlton. They lost 5 games in a row, lost last game in the AFL by a point, didn't make finals. Beat Carlton beat Collingwood's VFL to make finals, knocked Richmond to 9th. Richmond back in their natural habitat, albeit in the VFL. Then they beat Collingwood by about 4 goals just in the VFL. Then it was talking about late last night. They made a pull to sneaky and played a play that didn't qualify. Well, that room has been shut down. An unused medical sub does not count as a game in the VFL in terms of qualification reasons. So that room has been shut to bed. Carlton will play in the VFL finals this week. So that debate is over. Appreciate you all until next week, everyone. If you've got any more new topic suggestions to have. So we'll be doing the trade wrap a lot late in the next few months, and then we'll have the draft in November, late November. So I've got a lot of good ideas, but if you've got any segment ideas to add, because obviously there's no more All-Australian teams, Team of the Weeks, and all that stuff like that. So, and Scoops medals. Oh, there may be for the finals edition, but we'll wait and see. So just, keep an eye out for that. Any suggestions you got for segment ideas, send them off in the comment section below, or send them to me on Instagram, AFL Info Live, or Facebook, AFL Information, Trade Rumours and Results. Go and get your merch today, or cameo.com/Cooper G. Merch link is in the description. Thank you all, and go the Saints, and of course, acknowledge me, the one.